Hey my Nova Bites, time travelers Nova and Rats here, and welcome back to our playthrough of Bad Summer. Last we left off, we were an ISWA agent, and now we're going on a camping trip.
The summer of 1999 was the hottest I'd ever experienced. The muted glow of dawn shed but a feeble light over the misty woods. The wide, tree-lined street was eerily empty at such an hour. The entire world was fast asleep, and here I was at the first light of day, alone at a deserted bus stop. It was lonely here, uncomfortably quiet. I couldn't shake this irrational feeling that some hungry predator was going to jump from the darkness and take a chunk out of me. Not like I could run far in a dress like this. The weak, flickering light overhead only added to my jitters. There was something about this neck of the woods that freaked me out. Part of me was itching to pack up and head home. Applying for this job was a stupid idea. I was out of my element, out of my comfort zone, and in over my head. My knowledge of the countryside and outdoor living was zero. Stupid me trying to get away from my parents, that I threw myself into a worse situation, working at a summer camp in the middle of absolute nowhere. Your next adventure starts here. It seemed like a nice way to disconnect from the stress of the modern world and reconnect with nature. An escape from reality, from life at home. At least for a little while. A cool breeze blowing through my hair, my fingers strummed over my acoustic guitar. Just something to fill the silence. Anything to fill the silence.
Oh, Nova. A cat in the wilds of Bear Ridge Mountains? And at the bus stop, of all places. What on earth was it doing here? A hint of mystery surrounding the four-legged creature. It looks like its name is Nova. After some time of admiring the cat from a safe distance, I was feeling more than a little restless. What was taking the bus so long? Was it normal for it to run this late? Concerned, I rooted through my dress pocket for my cell phone and dialed my boss's number. I wasn't too far from the camp. Maybe he could drive out and pick me up? He answered on the second ring, thankfully.
What do you want?
I paused, surprised by how irritable he sounded. He was a lot nicer during the interview.
Hey, the bus is late, and I've been waiting here for close to an hour now.
Why is the fact you're stranded my problem?
Well, I was hoping you could, come pick me up, if it's not too much trouble. Being out by myself makes me really nervous. I'm not really used to the woods, and...
Too damn bad.
Did he just hang up on me? My stomach dropped to my toes. Wow, what a jerk. I shivered, the morning chills seeping through my dress. Why is it that they're always nice during interviews, but when you're working, they're always jerks? Another shiver racked my body. This one less from the cold and more from the frustration. This sucked. Waiting for a bus that may never come, dealing with a boss who treated me like an afterthought, was it worth it? All this for a minimum wage check and some time away from home. Stay or go home? I don't want her to get fired, so let's just stay for now. Headlights pierced through the mist. The large, weathered wheels of a bus squeaked along the bumpy road. Finally! The clunky gas guzzler has arrived. A one-way trip to the mountains of Bear Ridge. The bus squealed into a stop before me. The folding doors opened to the smiling face of the driver, an old bald man missing a few teeth. Packing my guitar back into its case, I forced a smile. then hurried up to the short set of stairs with my luggage. Gazing down the narrow aisle of divided seats, I locked eyes with 4 attractive strangers. All of them looked around my age. There was only one reason a group of teenagers would be huddled on a bus at such an ungodly hour, venturing deep into the remote wilderness of upstate New Empress. My co-workers, 2 boys and 2 girls, embarked on this crazy bumpy ride alongside me. It was oddly comforting knowing that I wouldn't have to suffer alone for the rest of the trip. The bus doors closed and the driver stepped on the gas. No turning back now. Who should I sit next to? Save?
I feel the breeze around my skin. What's bright inside, it lies within your eyes, your whispers creeping in.
Grumpy, sensitive, broody.
Calling me, I'll be free.
I would rather go sit with the rebel. Oh. Yes. My gaze snapped to the brown-haired boy mindlessly defacing public property with a felt-tipped black marker. He didn't seem to have a concern in the world, indifferent to what others thought of his improper activities. Not that anyone actually cared. A pair of square-rimmed glasses peeked from beneath his spiked hat, his crystal blue eyes glued to his work of vandalism. With every stroke of his marker, his toned arms flexed and rippled with movement. He had a unique, rebellious demeanor. His bad boy attitude and his unusual looks drew me into the seat next to him. I set my luggage down at my feet and my guitar across my lap. His doodling came to an abrupt pause. He eyed me appraisingly for a split second, but said nothing, returning to his act of self-possessed vandalism a moment later. As the bumpy ride commenced, a weighted silence spread between us. Read him or say nothing? I'm honestly shy, so we'll just say nothing. He broke the awkward silence.
It's not art.
I stiffened.
What?
He gestured to the doodling on the seat.
This isn't my best work. That is.
He pointed to the tick etched into the rear window of the bus. A proud smile plastered on his face.
They say art is subjective, but I think the entire world can universally agree that it's the perfect penis to ever grace the back of a bus. Look at it. The hairs, the curvature, the shaft. I'm a creative genius.
Well, I guess anything can be considered art, so I guess it looks good. Finding his crude humor amusing, I laughed, tension leaving my body in a rush. He was a bit unusual, but in a good way. An interesting way.
You're kind of an idiot.
Lovable idiot. I'm Jake.
I'm Jenny.
I shook the gloved hand he extended to me, our grasp lingering a bit longer than I was comfortable with. His long, elegant fingers were stained by marker, some of that ink rubbing off on me, but I didn't mind. My skin tingled from his firm grip. Jake had a distinct uniqueness that I was instantly drawn to, and it only took a few seconds of conversation to spike my interest in him. The rebellious artist seemed fun to be around, and I was desperate for a friend. He continued doodling on the seat as we spoke. Excited for the job? Nature? Camping? Working with kids? I like kids, but the nature and camping part makes me a bit uncomfortable.
Sweet!
A fellow nature hater. Good to know I'm not the only one. I'm also a nature hater too. I also don't like kids. His gaze shifted to my guitar on my lap, then lower to my bare skin of my legs. Every hormone in my body abruptly came to life. Sitting close enough for our knees to brush with every slight jerk of the bus, he was a compelling presence in such a confined space. He felt no shame in staring, the burning intensity of his eyes more than a bit intimidating, but also thrilling. I gripped the hem of my dress, feeling vulnerably exposed. A part of me wanted to recoil, to flee to the back of the bus and hide. But there was this odd, indescribable pull between us. That beautiful, chiseled face combined with those intense eyes could sweep any girl off her feet without a single word. My stomach did a quick somersault. Was he equally intrigued by me? Why the dress? I looked down at myself, growing even more flustered and self-conscious. Excuse me? Doesn't seem like the smartest attire for the woods. You know there's ticks, right? My eyes widened. The ticks in Bear Ridge. Yeah, the little red parasitic bastards that hang out in the grass waiting for you to walk by to cling to your legs and suck the blood out of you like a vampire. My skin crawled. I pulled the skirt of my dress down further. Very comforting. It's okay, babe. I can keep my eyes on you. Make sure you're safe from creepy crawlers. Your legs in particular, I mean. They look like they could use a little protection. I fumbled in my words, unsure of how to respond. He leaned closer. His scent filled my nostrils, a clean, minty blend of body wash and toothpaste. A shiver moved through me. When I didn't pull away, he boldly took the opportunity to grip my wrist. His marker hovered over my forearm. Your mind? Stunned, my brain struggled to adjust to his sudden forwardness. He spoke with me with such a composed coolness as if we were best friends, and he touched me as if he'd known me for years. Taking my astounded silence as an admission of consent, his long fingers tenderly traced the expanse of my arm before pressing the felt tip to my skin. His marker glided across my arm with gentle precision. My skin tingled with awareness. His shoulders were hunched. His face hovered over the length of my limb. His attention fully immersed in marking me. I watched as he worked, his wayward locks falling into my eyes with every tilt of his head. He would brush it away and huff in annoyance, just for it to happen again. I was half tempted to brush it back myself, to run my fingers through the silky strands. The strong, inky smell, mixed with the clean scent of his toned body, was an oddly tantalizing aroma. I watched every single movement he made, curious about the deception he planned to etch into my skin, or depiction in my skin. You're not planning on drawing a penis on me like some kind of freak, are you? He didn't answer right away, his focus solely on his creation.
Nuh-uh.
Well, I've been called freaky multiple times, but I'm not an asshole. You're too perfect of a canvas to ruin. I think you're worth pulling some real time. You're worth putting in some real time and effort to. My mind raced. The double meaning of his words caused a breakout of my goose flesh across my skin. The moment felt strangely intimate. If I didn't constantly remind myself that Jake was a stranger, I might have leaned even closer to him. Are you cold? His perceptive eyes were close enough to notice the small bumps on my arm. His marker twitched with every subtle instinctual tremble of my body. Another shiver shot up my spine. I was off my game. Every fiber of my being affected by his presence. It was extremely concerning to have such a visceral reaction to a stranger, no matter how attractive.
No.
No, I'm not cold. You keep shaking like that and I might make a mistake. Or two. He stifled, allowing me to check out the small bushy-tailed rabbit he drew on my arm. A smile pulled at my lips. It was actually kind of cute. You like it? Could be a nice tattoo to have in the future. It suits you. Why? Jake shrugged and went back to drawing on my arm. Bunnies are cute. My pulse spread at his implication. Did Jake find me cute? I couldn't imagine sitting through the pain of a tattoo. But Jake's sensual marker art was the next best thing. He went back to doodling on me. You don't seem like the type of girl who would take on a summer camp job unless she absolutely had to. My brows raised. What made you come up with that conclusion? Well, we already established you're not the outdoorsy type. Also, your skin is way too soft. Homebody, I guess? Kind of. Don't fret, babe. We're all in the same boat. I'm a homeboy too. But I'm not out being a menace to society, of course. We shared a smile before he dipped his head back into my arm. I don't know your reasons, but if my assumptions are correct, I didn't have much of a choice when I took this job either. I have a feeling we're probably not going to make the best counselors.
Sweet!
Even more reason for us to stick together. Survive the shitty terrors of Mother Nature, form an alliance. Is there any terms and conditions to this alliance? Definitely. You agreed to be my personal canvas, and I'll be a happy idiot. We're going to build trust, so we'll agree.
Keep talking.
My cheeks burned at the thought of being Jake's personal canvas. Who would have thought being drawn on could be such a sensual experience? I liked it. I liked it a lot. Still, I had some reservations. I guess. What does being your personal canvas entail? Well, it means I have access to your body. My breath caught in my throat, and my body blazed with heat. Only the places you give me permission to touch, of course. Good. Jake looked back up from his design and offered me a wink. His gaze fixed on my face. His blue eyes stared straight into my soul. No guy had ever made my skin prickle and tingle with just one heated stare. He licked his lips and I found myself doing the same. The things he was saying felt so wrong, forbidden, and yet so very right. I wanted him to mark me, to trace my skin with the cool tip of his marker. The bus abruptly jerked hard, and I flung forward, unable to stop myself. My pulse leaped with panic. Jake caught my waist, preventing my head from slamming into the seat in front of me. Relieved to be in one piece, I sighed and smiled at him. Thanks. Thank you for the save.
Lame.
Damn! He glowered at the sight of my arm. My skin smeared with an ugly black mark. His marker must have slipped when the vehicle lurched. Damn it! It's ruined. Damn it, stupid bus. Jake immediately got back to work on my arm, correcting his mistake. His marker moved along my arm in frenzied strokes. I had no clue what he was drawing, but I had a feeling it would turn out nothing short of a masterpiece. He was talented. Did he strive to be an artist? He seemed more than capable. The bus rode to a halt at the next bus stop. The double doors opened, and an older, scraggly man boarded. He was graceless as he limped through the aisle with what I presumed to be a bad leg. Tall, with a full head of unkempt gray hair, beardy black eyes, and baggy dirt-stained clothes, he looked like a homeless man down on his luck. It was a small miracle he could even afford a bus ticket with the way he carried himself. His features were weathered, his nose crooked as if it had been broken at some point. The poor guy seemed sickly, barely holding on by a thread. His clothes carried a terrible odor, and the stench intensified the further he moved into the bus. The driver didn't seem to mind, and Jake was too involved in using my arm as a canvas to care. I kept my head down as he passed by, fighting the urge to cover my nose. There was no need to be rude. Hopefully the man's misfortune turned around for the better soon. Oh! Ew. I locked eyes with the homeless man's pale, haggard gaze. He hovered over my seat, glaring into the very depths of my soul. I went stiff. A sudden, inexplicable chill swept over me, sending goosebumps racing over my skin. I gripped my guitar tight and huddled closer to Jake, my trembling body seeking out any shred of protection I could find. Jake's head popped up from my arm, his eyes zeroed into the homeless man with our personal space.
You're making a mistake, little girl. He's not what you think. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. He's gonna get you, little bunny. He's gonna rip you limb to limb, pieces to pieces.
He grinned menacingly, spittle flying around his wrinkled mouth. His eyes were wide and crazed. He moved a hand to the inner pocket of his coat. I gasped at the glint of something silver in his pocket. Was that a knife? Mash sequence. Hey, get off of me, you creep! No, don't you dare kill me! Jake's arm came around my back, his touch sheltering, protective, and I was more than thankful for it. He shot the crazy bum a warning glare, but Bum didn't stand down. His penetrating stare darted to Jake, his knife raised high, poised to strike. You like knives, huh? With a chilling calm, Jake reached into his pocket, revealing a knife of his own. You're not the only one packing. I got one of those too. The tension in the air shifted. Heavy, charged, blood rushed to my ears as the two faced off, each gripping their blade. My ribs grew tight, restricting my own breath. This couldn't be happening. Was there really about to be a knife fight? Right here? Right now? In the center of a moving bus?
I'm gonna turn your guts into Swiss cheese. Wow.
Okay, a fight.
Sweet.
First blood. Knockout.
He stumbled back, clenching his bleeding wound. That was unexpected, but I ain't complaining. His eyes wide with shock, he bolted for the nearest exit, forcing himself through the double doors. He left off the moving bus and disappeared into the woods. I was going to give that homeless guy a chance, but after he almost tried to murder me, no more chances. I stared blankly at the crimson droplets staining the center aisle. No one else seemed to notice the conflict that just transpired, or perhaps they didn't care. I wasn't sure which was worse. It all happened so fast, abrupt and surreal, like a fleeting nightmare. Jake turned to face me. His knife was gone, tucked away just as rapidly as he pulled it out. "Are you okay?" His voice drew me out of my stupor, partially.
You just stabbed that man.
I did.
Jake's words were blunt, straight to the point, remorseless, completely unfazed. Like getting into knife fights with strangers was an ordinary occurrence. Another Tuesday.
And you don't feel bad about that? At all?
Why would I? I was protecting you.
You could have hit an artery. What if he's bleeding out as we speak?
I was aiming for his heart. If you ask me, the guy got off lucky.
His expression softened into an irresistible, mischievous grin. His smile was disarmingly magnetic. My anger abided somewhat under the warm glow of his smile. He returned to his seat beside me. His protective presence sent a shock of awareness up my spine. The warmth of his toned muscles worked wonders to soothe my worries of the earlier confrontation. However, I was still a bundle of nerves, silently praying he wouldn't see how badly my hands were shaking. Jake was offering comfort, and while I appreciated that, it was still overwhelming to be so close to a boy. A boy I hardly knew. A boy I couldn't even begin to understand.
Don't think about him. A person with an aura like that, not worth the energy.
Aura?
Yeah. You didn't see it? Cadmium red. Pretty color, but dangerous. Angry. Toxic. Look, anyone you find with a color like that, you stay far away from it. In fact, you run.
Cadmium red. I'll be sure to remember that.
Don't think about him anymore. Screw that bum. He was a fucking bully.
Reluctant amusement carved my lips. His words were fierce, needlessly vulgar, but also protective. And deep down, I liked him. He was odd, a little out there, mostly a stranger too. But the prospect of spending the next 2 weeks working alongside him was indescribably thrilling. It was probably best if we kept things professional, but I had a feeling that would be far from easy dealings with a boy like Jake. Not that I was complaining. Bad summer.
It started the summer of 1999. Summer.
Oliver, your shift was over hours ago. Go home. Rest. There is always tomorrow.
Rest? Someone is behind these brutal murders, and I'll uncover the truth, even if it kills me.
Day 2, Oliver's office, 6:25 a.m. That animation intro was beautiful. The stale air of my office hung heavily, thick with the scent of old paper and the ghost of 1,000 unanswered questions. Files overflowed from every surface, a chaotic landscape of witness statements, manila folders, and dead-end leads, the Bear Ridge Reaper. The name itself was a brand seared into my mind, a constant burning reminder of my own inadequacy, my inability to crack this case to piece it all together. I ran a hand through my already disheveled hair, the rough paper of a transcript grating against my skin. Another interview, another victim's family member, their grief a palatable weight that settled on my chest. I listened to so many of these recordings. Each one was a variation of the same horrifying theme. The Ripper's brutality, the inexplicable nature of the attacks, the lack of any discernible pattern.
What am I missing? Why doesn't any of it make sense?
Okay, let me save real quick, just in case I have to make any more choices.
The files mocked me, each one a testament to my limitations. I, Oliver Smith, the man who prided himself on his ability to solve the unsolvable, was staring into an abyss. And the abyss was staring back. I reached for the bottle of scotch in my bottom drawer, the amber liquid a temporary solace. One sip, then another. It dulled the edges of the frustration, the gnawing sense of failure. It didn't provide any answers. It never did. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't drown in my own despair. I had to keep digging, keep searching. The victims deserved justice. Their families deserved closure. And I needed to know. I needed to understand, even if the truth shattered everything I thought I knew. There it was again, watching, waiting, whispering obscenities. I felt its menacing presence all around me. Shadows clawed relentlessly at the corners of my weary mind.
I'm curious, what happens if I click?
Another PA announcement blurted from the speaker.
Oh, okay, I guess nothing.
Don't look. Pretend it wasn't there. No sudden movements. Don't run. Don't speak. Do not approach. But deep down, there was a gnawing curiosity. A dark urge to stare into the abyss, to experience and indulge in all the horrible depravity it had to offer. Who was it that gazed so intently from the abyss? Why did it have such a fascination with the likes of me? A simple mortal with a mundane desk job. Was I special? Or could this all be some sick illusion?
Nope, that's gonna lead to death, so let's look away. Reason screamed in protest, every instinct urging self-preservation. In a vain attempt at normacy, I turned my attention to the files scattered across my desk. The heat of the creature's stare pierced my soul. How much longer could I keep up this foolish game of pretend? It was there, demanding attention, demanding to be seen. Giving into the urge, I locked eyes with the shadowy intruder at my door. Don't die, please. The moment our gaze met, it was as if a switch had been flipped. The office was tossed into the void. the files and photos fading into meaningless blurs. I was no longer in control. I was pulled, dragged into the creature's penetrating crimson gaze, held captive by an unseen force. A strange energy coursed through my veins, a sensation both terrifying and intoxicating. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic drumbeat against the silence in my mind. I couldn't look away. I couldn't. Then, a burning sensation erupted behind my ears, a searing, agonizing pain that intensified with every passing second. I tried to scream, but no sounds escaped my lips. No, we're going to still resist. No. Death would not take me yet. In a desperate effort to regain control, I shuddered, every fiber of my being fighting against the sudden paralysis that gripped me. The creature's eyes narrowed in challenge. It was a battle of will, a competition of mental fortitude. In that moment, my purpose had never been more clear. Oh, no. You're not gonna take me and rats. No. I barreled through the staircase exit at the end of the hall and arrived somewhere else. Somewhere unfamiliar. Fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting long, unsettling shadows across the endless expanse of concrete floor. The air was thick with a musty, almost nauseating odor, a strange mix of dust and something vaguely metallic. There were no windows, only the monotonous hum of the lights and the occasional unsettling creak from the walls. It was a labyrinth of identical hallways and doors. A maze. A place between places that felt very wrong. Impossible. I tried to turn back, but the door wouldn't budge. Huh, great. I was trapped in here.
Attention all personnel. This is an emergency announcement. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. If you hear this announcement, that means you found yourself in the Backrooms. Congratulations.
I knew it.
This is a rare achievement. Your reward? Death. Soon you will be freed from the burden of life, annoying responsibilities, and everyday expectations. Good for you.
Bloody hell.
Day 1, hiking trail, 12:01 p.m. While Oliver's trapped, and I don't know what's going to happen to Jenny, we finally arrived. The double doors of the bus slid open, revealing the golden light of a warm summer afternoon. My bulky pack and guitar strapped to my shoulders, I rushed through the aisle toward the exit, eager to feel the pleasant, open air on my skin. I didn't realize how much I missed the outside world until my feet landed in the dewy grass. The earthly scent of the woods carried into the breeze, the surrounding trees tall enough to brush the sky. Birds called and squirrels chattered. Bright berry bushes and thick brambles lined the lonely road. I smiled. The ticking tap of a woodpecker above captured my attention. It was pretty here, and not nearly as foreboding with my coworkers nearby. I liked it here. Maybe Camp Bear Ridge wasn't as bad as I originally thought. It just took some time getting used to. I stood at the edge of the rock-strewn path, admiring the scenery and sunny tranquility of the forest. I barely registered my coworkers, completely absorbed in the sights and sounds around me. The forest was alive, vibrant, and teeming with a kind of energy I'd never experienced in the city. It was a far cry from the concrete jungle I was used to, with its constant noise and suffocating crowds. Here, I can finally breathe. Jake appeared beside me, fiddling with his marker. He tossed it into the air and caught it with deft fingers, a small, almost restless flick of the wrist. His crystal blue eyes held a dullness, a lack of interest.
Lame.
Well, this is boring. My gaze lingered on him for a moment longer than I should have, a blush creeping up on my neck. I quickly looked away, focusing on the path ahead, and tucked a stray strand of hair behind my ear. It was a nervous habit I developed on the bus, my skin tingling with goosebumps whenever he was near. My heart did a little dance at the thought of spending more time with him. Hopefully we can make our way to the camp soon. I'm excited to see it in person. Jake didn't respond. His gaze instead had drifted down to his drawing on my arm. He stepped closer to me, so close I could smell his marker on his skin. He angled his head, curious, before gently lifting my wrist. Let's see how my girl's holding up. My cheeks burned from his words. How does he have the courage to say such things without getting embarrassed? His confidence seemed to know no bounds. His thumb brushed under my arm as he tilted it into the light. The bunny was still there, bold black lines stretching across my skin. One ear arched cleanly, while the other one was a little shorter, the line jagged where the bus had jolted and thrown off his hand. He tried to fix it, but the correction only made it look more curious. Sparkly, but not in a bad way. She turned out kind of perfect, huh? She's a little lopsided. Aren't we all? Be playful or be bold? Let's tease. I'm not ready for flirting yet. Maybe I should have asked for a refund. Jake let out a soft laugh, still studying the lines on my arm. Arsh, I don't usually get complaints from my clients. First time for everything. Alright then, next one's free. But only if you promise to sit still this time. I tried to hold his gaze, but it was harder than I expected. I pulled my arm back from his grasp and cleared my throat. Is that a tree over there? Smooth, real smooth. My face flushed hotter as his slow knowing smile, or at his slow knowing smile. I can't believe I said that. There's trees everywhere, genius. We're surrounded by woods. The blonde let out a loud, exaggerated sigh. She spun on a heel and faced us, boldly tossing her perfect hair over her shoulders. Okay, people, since Ian is late, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. It's time for introductions.
Hi, I'm Summer.
The head counselor. In other words, your boss. An awkward silence filled the air. A mocking snort followed soon after, probably from one of the other boys behind me. Summer ignored it. After a long moment of uncomfortable quiet, I spoke up to introduce myself.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Candace, but everyone calls me Candy.
I'm Jake.
Before the last guy got a chance to speak, Candy stepped forward, her voice booming. He's Antonio.
I'm Andre.
Oh, Andre. Candy visibly deflated, shrinking back into her original spot. Awkward. Summer cleared her throat, glancing at her phone. I have no service. I still can't get in contact with Ian. He's never late like this. This is so weird. I called him earlier and he answered, but it didn't seem like he wanted to be bothered. He hung up on me. He was really rude about it too. Summer pressed her lips into a fine line. Her arms crossed over her chest. Well, that doesn't sound like Ian at all. He's nice to everybody. Don't got a single rude bone in his body. Isn't Mr. Matthews too old for you? Summer's brow shot up. Excuse me? You talk about him like you're, you know... A weary smile pulled at the corner of Jake's lips, his gaze sparkling with amusement. So wait, Ian and Summer are all buddy-buddy with each other, huh? Summer scoffed, a vein ticked in her forehead. Like, I'm what? Use your words. Oh, you know. Does she? Nope, she doesn't. And nor does she care. So why don't you all do us a favor and shut the hell up? Acting like he didn't hear a thing, Jake continued on. Oh, she definitely knows. But don't worry, princess. Your secret's safe with me. Scout's honor. Jake winked, and with a lopsided grin, he performed a mock salute. Summer rolled her eyes and took a slow, deliberate breath. Candy leaned in slightly, her tone dropping to a whisper. I'm getting a strong reading. There's a smackdown in his future.
Whatever.
For one, I highly doubt you are a Boy Scout. And two, call me Princess again, and I'll kick your teeth in. Are we clear, Princess? Never been called Princess before. I think I like it. You would. Now, answer the question. Are we clear? Crystal. He laughed and gave a mock bow, twirling his marker as he did so. Oh, don't mind me. No one ever does. I never know what I'm talking about anyway. His grin was easy, filled with boyish charm, but the glint in his eye hinted at something deeper, darker. It's almost sad. His words, don't mind me, no one ever does. Candy grinned, entertained by the strange conversation. Wow, this is getting juicy. Is it? Andre scratched at his jaw, his brow frowned. He looked hopelessly confused. Another awkward silence swept over the group. Summer cleared her throat and waved a dismissive hand in Jake's direction. Anyway, as head counselor and second in command, I say we keep our butts right here and wait for Ian to show up. Why? Can't we just hike to camp from here?
Don't think so.
It's too long of a walk, especially in this heat. What if one of you passes out from heat stroke? I'm not taking responsibility for that.
Nah.
I'm not staying here. What? Oh no, you don't, mister. Andre turned, taking off for the hiking trail without looking back. His confident stride swayed most of the group in an instant. Hey, wait up. I'm coming too. Candy and Jake rushed over after him. I passed Summer a sheepless smile and followed behind them. It was always best to stick with a group, right? Okay, let me say one more time, just in case there's any major choices. Darn it. Fine, wait for me. You don't know where you're going. Summer kept pace with us, refusing to be left behind. Somebody has to keep watch after y'all. The afternoon sun beat down through the canopy, draping the hiking trail in shifting patterns of light and shadow. About 10 minutes into the hike, my steps started to drag, and before I knew it, my coworker had left me in the dust. They were further up the path, their voices echoing faintly through the trees. I lagged behind, utterly drained. Sweat plastered my dress to the back, a testament to the grueling trek with my pack and guitar. Each step on an uneven terrain was a victory against sheer exhaustion. Maybe Summer had a point about the heat strokes. My head was pounding. A wave of dizziness washed over me. I could only imagine how much worse it could get if I don't stop soon. Eventually, the fatigue won out. I veered off the trail and dropped onto a mossy fallen log. Stillness crept in, and I let my eyes slip shut, desperate for the spinning to stop. When I opened them again, my coworkers were gone. The trail ahead was empty, barren. All that remained was faded footsteps in the dirt. A knot of panic tightened in my stomach. Where did they go? I only stopped for a few moments. They left me. How could they leave me? My breath hitched in my throat. I stood up, my heart pounding, half expecting them to jump out and yell surprise. But the woods remained silent. The only sound, the rustling of leaves in the hot wind. Guys? Hello? I called out to them, my voice echoing hauntingly. No reply. They were gone. Spooked by the unsettling silence, I pressed forward along the path, searching frantically for any familiar faces. Up ahead was a steep hill, and at the base, a signpost. I thrust my head forward, struggling to make out the words. A cold knot formed in my stomach. Beware of bears. A bear? Here? The sound of footsteps crunching over the dirt sent a shiver up my spine. I jumped, startled by the noise. But nothing was there. The woods went silent, deathly still. Clouds choked the sun from the sky, plunging darkness over the earth. Abnormal. A living shadow darted past me, unnaturally swift, my breath caught in my throat. When nature goes silent like that, that is a big warning sign. I wasn't alone. I stopped mid-stride, my gaze searching desperately for any signs of life. I spot a dark, beaten path just off the hiking trail. Something about it seemed off. Okay, if I have to choose a path... Gnarled and twisted branches jutted out of the dirt like knives, a warning not to enter. A lashing wind shifted through the trees. The bushes rumbled and shook. I couldn't tell if it was just the wind or if someone or something was moving nearby. No. Back away. No need to investigate further. Utterly repulsed and stomach-churning, I turned on a heel and ran as fast as I could. Adrenaline spiked through my veins. I pushed through the burning of my lungs and soreness in my muscles, my luggage almost weightless as I scrambled away. A break in the trees up ahead. A river. Water crashed and frothed below a wooden footbridge. The first hurried step on the plank seemed sturdy. The second step less so. The third step was dangerously wobbly. The fourth plank gave out completely, snapping in two and falling into the depths of the stream. I stumbled. My foot caught it in the gap. I couldn't move, captured and ensnarled like a rat in a trap. No! My heartbeat raced, my breath bursting in and out. I couldn't swim, and even if I could, the current was too strong. Thoughts of being washed away by the river and drowning, consumed by nature's cruel tide, flashed through my mind. I can't die here. I can't die here. I'm not sure what to choose. Well, I think free yourself will be worse. We'll just scream for help. Overwhelmed by sheer terror, I called out for help. I screamed and screamed. My voice echoed through the woods, but no one could hear me. I swallowed my fear. I buried it deep down into the depths of my stomach and locked it away. Then I twisted around, grabbed my ankle, and pulled the hardest I could. A. W. D. No! My foot remained trapped as the bridge finally gave way. I plummeted into the rushing water. The world, a chaos of churning currents and splintered wood. Just as I thought I was done for, strong hands grabbed me, hauling me back onto the bank. It was Jake dragging me back to the solid land. Thanks, Jake. Day 2, office hallway, 5:38 p.m. The darkness pressed in and swallowed me. I couldn't see a thing. Remember this hallway.
If you're still alive, I suppose it's my job to help you, isn't it? Observe your surroundings carefully. Memorize the furniture, the walls, the ceilings.
Thank goodness. The lights are back on. Christ, spoke too soon.
Keep your flashlight close. If you spot an anomaly, shine your light on the problem, and it should go away. Probably.
I drew my flashlight from my belt. Just what I needed. Much better. I need to find a way out of this godforsaken place.
Remain calm, rely on your senses, and the light will guide your path. Observe and overcome. Or die. Horribly. Ta-ta!
Weird words of motivation. Okay. This is not an anomaly. This door is normal. It's your regular standard door. Nothing special about it, promise. This is an anomaly. Looks similar to a normal door, but there are key differences. The eyes behind it are glowing. The door is open. Should be closed. How to fix an anomaly. Something feel off. Left click and hold your mouse till the anomaly is gone. If something is not an anomaly, best leave it alone, or you might regret it. Nope, shining a light on you. If something isn't an anomaly, you'll regret it. Wait, is this an anomaly? This plant was green. Okay, so apple, that's the correct picture. Golden chair. That was a sandy color, right? Or a dull color, I mean. Footprints, those were not there. Oh, what else? Okay, black cats and this picture are the same. I think that's all of the anomalies. Are you sure you want to take the elevator? You may have missed something on this floor. If you move on too soon, there will be consequences. Wait. I think this is different. No. What happens if I just choose something not out of the ordinary? Nothing. What about this? Okay, that wasn't there before. Wait, this painting, it wasn't on the left side, was it? Yes. No. Okay. I think that's all of them. Yes, take the risk. I think I got all of them, hopefully. And yes. Okay. Okay, that's not there. Move this. Remove that. Alright, chair is normal. There. Go away, anomaly. Okay. Anything else? Wait. I don't think... No, that tile wasn't open before. Oh. Missing picture. Alright. Plant looks normal. Alright. I think I got all of the anomalies on this floor. Wait. Save? Okay. Alright. You go away. Right. Chair is not that color. Okay. Plant looks normal. Missing picture. Cat picture not supposed to be on this side of the wall. Apple looks normal. Anything on the tile? Ceiling, floor. Looks normal. Yes, take the risk. Okay, second floor. Remove that hole in the ceiling. Oh, broken picture there. Remove the cat picture. Chair's normal. Oh, blue plant. Turn it back to green. Missing picture here. I believe that's all of the anomalies. Take the risk. Oh, I missed something. I have no idea what I missed. I'll be back. Alright, I made it to the second floor now. Let me save in case I mess up. Oh. And as you can see, that cat, that should not be dripping with blood, so fix that. Painting is missing. Or picture. Plant is normal. Apple looks fine. Okay, so that painting's fine. Floor, I don't see anything wrong. Oh, there. I think I did everything I could. Oh, no, go away. Okay, we're on the first floor now. Picture frame is broken. There. Cat should not be having that. Hole in the ground or floor. Blue plant. Alright. I believe I did everything I could here. Yes! After what felt like an eternity, I made it out of that labyrinth. Somehow, impossibly, I was back in my office again. Everything felt normal. My surroundings made sense. This was the reality I remembered. Not whatever nightmare that was.
Oliver.
Hello. I jumped back violently, immediately reaching for the comforting weight of my gun. When the shadowy creature made no effort to attack, I hesitated. Those penetrating crimson eyes, once dreadfully intimidating, seemed docile now. Its body, which was nearly naked and unmistakably feminine, hovered above the ground with an unfathomable lightness, floating, weightless as a feather. This thing, or she, was beyond my comprehension. Baffled, I stared in stunned silence. My brain struggled to make sense of all of it.
Don't be afraid.
Her slutty, otherworldly voice was soft, disarming whisper. I lowered my weapon, intrigued by the strange turn of events. This was not how I expected the end of my shift to go. She reached out to me. Shadowy wisps circled around her slender fingers. It was a surprisingly intimate gesture, a trap maybe, or perhaps an attempt to make a connection. She's probably trying to trick us. My hand twitched, the rational part of my brain screaming at the sheer insanity of the idea. Everything about this creature defied logic, defied everything I thought I knew about the world. To touch her, it was like reaching into the unknown, a gamble with stakes I couldn't even begin to comprehend. She had every opportunity to kill me tonight, but she didn't. Was there a chance this being meant no harm? Touch her or don't? I said we wouldn't trust her, but I'm gonna risk it. Slowly, hesitantly, I extended my own hand. My palm felt clammy, my fingers trembling. The fluorescent lights in my office seemed to dim, the sounds of the city outside fading into a distant hum. It was as if the world was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. The gap between us closed, her fingers long and slender, with nails like polished obsidian, brushed against my skin. A jolt of electricity shot up my arm, but it wasn't painful. It was strange. Sensations flooded my mind, images and emotions that weren't my own. She carried a sense of ancientness, of vastness, power that dwarfed everything I could have ever encountered. And beneath it all, a profound loneliness.
You, the protector of the weak and downtrodden. You help people. You save them. I've watched you. I see you.
I swallowed deeply, struggling to find my voice.
You've been watching me. Why?
Watching you is fascinating. You intrigue me. You are different from the others. You care. You help.
It is my job to help, yes. Is that why you watch me? Do you need my help too?
She didn't answer, but her pleading eyes said it all.
What are you, really? You don't seem like an abnormal. A monster would have killed me by now.
You seek the truth. I can tell you. But it requires payment.
What kind of payment?
A kiss.
Oh, that's all? A soft sigh escaped her lips, her gaze searching mine with an intensity that made my heart race. The air between us was thick with unspoken words. A kiss in exchange for knowledge? I couldn't even imagine the secrets she kept close to her chest. If there was a chance to know now... I gave in, hesitantly giving her shadowy cheek a tentative kiss, a small peck.
Kiss me like you mean it.
I felt an invisible pull, a force drawing me closer to her, bringing the impossible gap between our worlds. Her fingers tightened around me, the coldness of her touch sending another jolt through my arm. This time, it wasn't jarring. It was comforting, familiar even. Her face was inches from mine, her crimson eyes pools of ancient wisdom and vulnerability. I could see the intricate patterns etched into her skin, swirling lines that seemed to shift and change with unnatural motion. My lips meet hers with a tenderness that surprised me. Wow. It was a kiss unlike I had ever experienced, a merging of worlds, a collision, the tangible and the eternal. I deepened the kiss, my hand finding its way to the back of her head, my fingers threading through her silky hair. This song is nice. Her lips parted slightly. I could feel her energy flowing into me, strengthening me, filling the void within my own soul. When we finally broke apart, gasping for breath, I felt irrevocably change. The world around me seemed sharper, more vibrant, imbued with a sense of magic I never thought possible. In her eyes, I saw not a monster, but a kindred spirit. She was a being of immense power and loneliness, reaching out for connection in a universe that had cast her adrift. Then, as abruptly as she appeared, she was gone.
Bloody hell.
Day 1, hiking trail, 4:48 p.m. Not exactly a bargain, but not exactly a bargain I was expecting, but whatever. Coughing and sputtering, I collapsed onto the muddy bank, waterlogged and shivering. My clothes clung to me, heavy and cold, each movement sending a wave of icy discomfort through my body. I think this is a good time to pause here. I'll be back with playing